Wexaukee Amateur Radio Club, June 5th, 2025. Club meeting.
All right, we got a big group here. Let's go around and make sure we know everybody. Starting right here with LBZ. Name, call sign if you have one, where you live.
Let's see.
Come on, Dave, we don't have all night.
Dave, W.D. LBZ, Winterfield Township, Clare County.
Randy, K88, AGI, McBain.
Bill, KC80TJ, 4 miles southwest of Cadillac on 115.
Tom, WDAWYB Cadillac.
I'm Matt, I'm not licensed yet, Al Freeman, and I'm southwest of Manning.
Ursula Wing, KC8HJU, Cadillac.
Jordan, KFADIJ,
Bill?
Cadillac. Bill. Cadillac.
Rob, Marion, no call sign.
Oh, me? Bob, N8BOB.
Debbie, KK,
Come on, speak up.
KK7T, Cadillac.
Jack, KHFX, Cadillac, and Arizona.
In Arizona, yeah. Okay, Roy.
Roy, KC8GZG, Tustin.
Where are you going, this way?
Go ahead.
Rich, K8MFC, Cadillac.
Jeff, N8JAP, beautiful Cadillac, Michigan.
DDA, Tim, Cadillac.
Steve, W8SJS, Cadillac.
Gordon, WACT, on beautiful Lake Wexaukee, Lake City.
Mike, KF8BCR, Cadillac.
Lee, KD8UVN, Cadillac.
Van, W8LKV, Tustin, and I belong to Leah back here.
His wonderful wife.
Randy, KC8TXS,
His favorite wife, absolutely.
Sandy, I belong to
She's
nobody.
wonderful also.
You belong to us, and I'm Lynn, W8UPB, Hoxeyville. Okay, let's do the minutes. Brandy.
Minutes of the May 1st meeting called to order at 6:30 p.m. Minutes were read and approved. Financials were read and approved. We had a great day for World Amateur Day, even if it was a little soggy. We had a lot of people stop and ask questions. Gordy was going to Dayton. You can opt in for the Great Lakes Division newsletter at ARRL.com. You need to be a member. The President's Challenge for 5 watts or less won again. May's Challenge was special event stations. We had a discussion of equipment insurance via the ARRL. Must be a member, but slightly better than regular house insurance, but do look at what policies cover. Meeting programs are set through October. Gordy brought a rig expert antenna analyzer. It was pretty nice. Field day is June 28th to 29th. We'll talk about it here. We went over swap stuff before swap, and the meeting adjourned at 7:27 p.m.
Any corrections or additions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So, it was alternate power this month, correct? For the President's Challenge?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Oh, I apologize.
No, that's okay.
No,
So we
no.
said that, I remember we said that last meeting,
Right.
because I was confused, but I'm just making sure.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Gordy. Second. Mike. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thanks again, Brandy, for a great job. All right, Lee. Come on up here and tell us how much money we got. If I can figure out how to do this. Okay, we're gonna turn this around.
Oh, there we go.
How's that?
All right.
For now?
Yeah.
All right.
Looks good. All right. The sheet that was handed out to you is incorrect. The bottom figures are correct. So, okay, so we got change for the swap. We always get change, $400 that we take out of the bank. And on your sheet, it shows $400 as an expense when we put it back into the bank. But that isn't the way we want to do it. Put it, see way down here at the bottom, minus 400. Then our total, our total income, our total income of $1,666 from the swap during the month of May is correct. We did quite a bit of activity. We got all these 50-50. We got people buying tables and gate receipts for $1,569. Here's a guy that gave $5. He bought a ticket by mail, and he wanted to be in on the drawing. So
And he didn't win.
He did not win.
That's okay, we'll take his money.
And then look at all the dues that we brought in, and some of those were new members.
Yeah.
And Tom Warnock did an excellent job getting new members. Really appreciate that. Yeah, let's see. We paid the card checker $30. We paid the Mackinac Trail PTO. Was that the band boosters?
That was the kids that helped us set up, and it's the best $100 we
Yeah,
spend in the history of this club. My goodness.
And then we got, and then the gym rental, boy, Lynn did a good job of negotiating there. Yeah, it used to be what, about $500 or so?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
If you take donuts to Maddie, she's very easy to work on.
That's great. Donuts, huh? So anyway, if you can bring it up just a little.
What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Raise, yeah. Or maybe you'll have to, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
More?
No. That's
What's wrong with the way he launders the money? I just think it's great.
Yeah. There's our balance right there, $3,394.90. Did you hear that? I didn't say it very loud. $3,394.90.
That's a good year.
So,
Very
we'll go to
We had an awesome gate.
okay, I need the next page. Oh, there we are. Okay, I got it.
You
Okay.
can do this. You can do this, Lee. Just keep working on it.
Okay, so this is working out very nicely. This is a summary for the year to date. And so we got, here's May, all May total figures are all the way across here. And if you go down here for the SWAT, it was $2,321 through the months that we brought in for the SWAT total. And then then the expense on the SWAT, is that column, there's $677.50. If you take the $2,321 and subtract the $677, you come out with a profit of $1,643. Last year, our profit was $1,532, so it's, not a whole lot of difference. And our net income, we've been in the red. Well, we're in the black, $500.36. Yay. That's where we're at. Any questions?
Do I have a motion to approve of the financials for May?
I so move.
That's Bob. I heard that. Second is Roy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passed. Thank you so much. That's a lot of work. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's see if I can find a president's report here. There it is. All right. The May President's Challenge results. Let's go down and see if we can find those. All right. Lee, how many did you have?
Was it 23?
23. Okay. 23 for Lee. Let's give Lee a big hand. That's pretty good. It's really good because I had 11. Give me a big hand. Bill's been bitten by the POTA bug. How many did you have, Bill?
27.
27. Let's give Bill a big hand. Mike, we saved you for last.
Oh, man.
And it's too bad. Don't want to pick on you,
It's all right. I've got thick skin.
but holy Pete, look at that.
Wow.
You suck.
106.
105. There's a half.
Is your battery still working?
You know how long I can run 5 watts on a 16 amp hour battery?
Anyway,
A long time.
fantastic job. Let's give him a big hand. And I went to print out the famous award, which you will get, signed by a president.
President.
but my printer ran out of ink today. I will make sure you get it.
Which president signed it? The inquiring minds want to know.
The auto pen.
The auto pen?
It's actually the president of the nation of Zimbabwe. And don't ask me his name, it's Chewy Louie or something like that.
Chewy Louie?
Hey, listen, it's hard to get him to sign anything, let alone that, so come on, give me a little credit. Okay, let's go back to the president's report if we can. So we took care of that. The next one is special events. This is a little different rules. You get a point for every special event station you work, but you get another point for every other band you work them on.
Did you see that?
So if you work them on 40 meters and on 20 meters, that's 2 points. Okay? Special events. It's kind of fun. Get me your score by July 1st. I'll make sure I have ink in my printer. And I'm going to be contacting another president. My long distance bill is going up, but and also congratulate Mike. Earned his general class at the swap. Give him another big hand. You get to buy tonight afterwards. Okay.
So Lynn, back on that, the special event contest. Like this weekend is the ships.
Yep.
Ship museums. So do you get a point for each one of those ships that you get, or
Yes.
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you got that same ship on another band, then it would
Right,
count again.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Mike. Tip of the day.
Okay. And also, as our treasurer referred to it, we got 5 new members. Dave Fleming, a lot of you know him. He's on 3906 a lot.
NSA
NSA. Here's an interesting fact about Dave. Do any of you remember the name Peggy Ann Fleming?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
skater.
his sister.
So Miss America was his sister.
Holy
Isn't that kind of neat? I think it's pretty neat. And then Randy and Christine Dingman, Greg Rotman, Gary Bolin, and Steve Lannon, who's working on his license. And a lot of credit goes to Tom, who's over there just pumping these people up, and he sends them over to Lee, and of course Lee takes their money. Gets most of it.
Oh, Tom collected some of the money.
Puts most of it in the treasury. But I think it's kind of neat, and we're going to next year do a little bit more of a formal invitation. People like to support, I mean, I belong to 3 clubs only because I think it's helpful to support some of those other clubs, and let some people do that for us. All right, one other thing. If you get a chance to go to our Facebook page, there's a really neat post from a ham that made a week-long trip through Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. Had his 2 meters, had everything programmed into it, had 2 QSOs the whole time. We do a great job, we really do. But we can do better. It's not just Bob's job, right?
Yes, you do too.
Well, everybody does, but I think we have a great reputation when people, especially people passing through, because you know how frustrating it is. You've got your rig in your car, you drive to Detroit, you go through about 6 repeaters and you can't get anybody to answer you. So, good job, keep it up. And that's all I've got. Open mic, and I want to start maybe and ask Gordy to give a little, he got to go to Dayton again. It's not Dayton, it is AmFest.
Yeah, I went down to Dayton on Friday. I couldn't do their Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My granddaughter graduated from Olivet on Saturday, so they kind of wanted me back for that. But by 2 o'clock when I left on Friday, there was 10,800 people there. And the total count was just short of 40 grand, 40,000 people over the 3 days. The flea market was amazing because the weather was good.
Too many people.
But it's so spread out, you really don't notice it. You get into the venues, it's kind of crowded, but you get out in the plazas and the flea market stuff, it's pretty laid back and wide open. So they say, oh, it's nice coming to Dayton, and everybody right on the spot will say, this isn't Dayton, this is Ham Bench. They're trying to rebrand everything, and so, but if you get a chance to go, and like Lynn was saying, maybe we can rent a van, take off. And
Tell them
does a
about a
group.
possible hotel deal you might get.
Well, I'm working on, I'll talk to my son-in-law this weekend. He works for the Corvette Humphreys Corporation. He's a technology director for them, and he's on the road a lot. And they got a motel, they got a plant there in White Castle, I think is the name of the town. Over Dayton weekend, we only paid $70 for our room because it gets it through the corporate account. And so if we could, kind of bunk guys together and stuff, we could probably get rooms pretty cheap. So I will follow up on that.
Is there anybody else other than Gordy that's ever been to Dayton? Jack? Oh, okay.
I have.
Tom, all right.
How'd you like it?
I bet you since 1988, I've been 15 or 20 times.
Wow. I'm ashamed to say I've never been, but you make it sound appealing with the $70 hotel bills.
Well, there's the brochure floating around here from the gate, and you can go in there and see all the vendors and stuff. And if you got a finite amount of time, it's nice to go online and look at that list of the vendors, kind of make yourself a cheat sheet of what you want to hit, because otherwise you'll never get done what you want to get done. So.
Yeah. Thanks, Gordy. Any other open mic? Anybody for anything? Any reason?
I got another item.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear from our tower people. They've got security issues up there. They don't let groups of people up there, so I'm trying to get that squared away so we can go up there. The rack that I want to put the new repeater in is still downstate. I haven't got it up here yet. And so when I get that back, I'm going to take it apart to bring it up and put it together, and then I'll need somebody with a truck, a pickup truck with an open bed where we can strap it into, or to get it up the hill when the time comes. So I'm thinking maybe mid-July. I don't know. I've got so much going on with grandkids.
Yeah. No, we all do.
Commitment.
What he's referring to is maybe I'm just weird. I think it's kind of neat to see where a repeater is. There's nothing fancy about it. And I went up there for the first time a couple years ago when Bill was doing some maintenance on it. And if anybody wants to, we're trying to just organize a trip up there to see what it's like. Again, it's nothing fancy. It's a brick building. But I don't know. I just think it's neat to see where our signal
Well, and
comes
there's
from.
a limited amount of space up on top of that whole park, too.
Oh, they're going to walk up.
Oh, there's no EMTs waiting at the top for most of this.
Tom.
Drive road or
Yeah, I've got a question,
It's a
Gordy.
two-wheel
The
drive.
440 has been off today. It was off this morning. I had to use the 100, and I turned it on to have two separate stations. And when I transmitted on the 100, you couldn't hear anything on the 440. And I tried calling this morning on 6. Normally Dave's there, and I called, nobody was there, so I went over to the 100, and sure enough, he was there talking.
I will check on it when I get back. I can't use the repeater from my house because the node radio's there, so I can't key up or I desense the node radio. So the only way I know if that's down is if somebody gives me a phone call.
Thanks.
Anything else for the open mic?
I'll let you know.
We got a hand up back here.
Where?
Gordy.
Yeah.
Just a bizarre thing. One of my friends in Flint, WHJJ, his neighbor bought a Hummer, could have been anything, but it was an EV, and he installed an electric charger in his garage, and his noise level is incredibly high.
Okay.
So, don't know if there's too many EVs around here, but if your neighbor installs one.
That's just another reason I don't own a Hummer.
That's another reason not to have an EV.
Yeah, it's like Hummer.
Well, it's not.
So anyway, he's working with his neighbor to try to resolve it. Some neighbors are not as funny.
Glenn?
Yes.
That's a good reason for me to continue to use my E85, which is, my fuel is grown in the field, other than the little bit of.
I appreciate your being an environmentalist, Bob.
I do it because it's $1 a gallon cheaper.
That wasn't better for the environment.
Okay.
It's corn.
Hey, we need October, November, December programs.
October.
Okay, Gordy's in October.
I want to do one on Raspberry Pi digital nodes for Fusion, DMR, and D-Star.
Okay.
Appropriate software.
Just so you know, Bruce, some of you remember him, he comes up from Athens, Georgia, and he has a place in Tustin. He's going to present something on August 7th. He's not sure, but he always makes pretty interesting presentations. And we've got a fantastic video about the Heath Kid history, and it's really fascinating. So anybody who wants to do November or December, let me know. And as we go through the club activities, there's really no big change there. The club picnic is going to be in August, and that's going to be at the Veterans Park, which is north of town. They have a really nice new pavilion. Net controls are all set. Is there any old business?
We are going to go through swap stuff, and we are going to go through field day stuff.
Yes. If I can find it here.
What's the day of the club picnic?
Let's first talk about field day.
August 10th.
It's not on there.
It's June 28 to 29, and it's not 29, 25, it's 2025.
It's like planning ahead.
We're really planning ahead. It's going to be at Rich's property. We put the address up here. We don't broadcast the address, but it's at his place. Setup is going to be after coffee, usually about 11:30. We head out there. Just a reminder, it's not a contest, and we don't take it as a contest. We don't get all serious. Some clubs do. And that, for some people, takes the fun out of it. Our emphasis is really on that middle word, food, but we also have fun and a lot of good fellowship. Come on out even if you don't want to operate. Nobody's going to force you to sit down and work at a station. Just come and have some fun. If you've never been, it's just a fun time to get together. It's a good thing to bring a friend to that might be interested in ham radio. It's just a fascinating way to let them see what it can do. Dinner is going to be at 5 p.m. on Friday. I'm sorry, Saturday. The meat and drink is provided by the club. Brandy, do we have a menu yet?
We need to decide. I've been told that he would be interested in doing pulled pork like we did the first year. Could do brisket again if the club will, and and the other option would be a couple of turkeys. If
All right.
that would be,
How many would like to do pulled pork? Hands. 1. 2. Brisket.
Can we vote twice?
A couple of turkeys. The majority rules. Brisket. It's a fantastic brisket, by the way.
I will send him to the store. I will assume that the budget is about what we
Have
did
him-
last year.
Have him check Eagles. They just have, I think the last paper, I think they have a sale on brisket.
Yep, I will have him check.
$4.99 a pound?
Wow.
Good.
Yeah,
And
it's still
by
an
the way,
$80 piece
Brandy,
of
I
meat.
just found out today, the fridge out there is not working. I
Okay.
think the thermostat's gone on it.
Okay,
I'm gonna try and dig into it, see if I can get it going.
okay. I have coolers. We'll make it
I may
work.
have to resort to that, so.
We'll make it
We can
work.
bring coolers, but, Rich, if it was anybody else, I'd say it's a lost cause, but you just have a way of fixing stuff, so I'm counting on it.
Don't count too much.
Side dishes are welcome, but they're not required. Bring a chair for the CW, the Circle of Wisdom, where we sit around and solve all the world's problems and tell mostly on-color jokes. Right? There you go. We have one sideband station, a CW station, and an FT8 station. Sunday morning, it's Brandy's famous flapjacks and sausage, around 9 o'clock. Does that sound good?
I assume I'll be out there around 8. We'll make sure that there's food between 8 and 9 for sure.
Okay. Rich, I didn't check with you, but I think you allow people to camp if they want to.
Yeah, and there'll be power out there if somebody wants
Yeah.
to bring a camp trailer or
I
something.
think the only reason we didn't do it last year was the monsoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And Rich, would you be responsible for contacting the porta potty people since they will want to know the
Yep, I can do
address?
that again.
Yeah, yeah. I need at least 1 or 2 people, one to do it, to meet me at the storage facility to pick up the generator. I can lift it, but every year it gets heavier. And other supplies, either Friday night or before coffee on Saturday. See me if you can do that. I gave away 2 of my 6-foot tables. I only have 1, so we could use at least 1 6-foot portable table if you've got one. And it'd be good if we could have a really good set of noise-canceling earphones. The club has 1950s version earphones, and they're not noise-canceling at all. It does help to have those. And we could use some help to tear down around 11 o'clock on Sunday. Any questions about field day?
Once again, that's July 28th, right?
June.
Or June 28th.
Did I put July?
I'm on the wrong calendar here.
I wrote down June.
June 28th, yeah.
Yep.
I got a table I can loan.
Great, great. And if you need somebody to pick it up in a truck, I can pick it up and haul it out there. I'd really encourage you to come if you've never come. It's a lot of fun. It just, the whole emphasis is fun. It's not a contest. And also, for people who don't have licenses, you can operate if you want to. And it gives you a good experience to do that. All right, the next
I got a good field day story about that.
Let's hear it.
I just gotten relicensed as a tech, and we were having field day out at Mark's, and his call was KBAGC, and we were up the hill behind his house. Wee hours of the morning, I was the only one still awake. I heard ZL, and I jumped on that like a duck on the June bug, and I was so far out of the band. But it didn't bother me because I was using Mark's call, KBAGC.
So he's the one that got the pink slip from the FCC?
He never heard anything, but they said, "Oh man, you know it's field day, but you're out of the band." And I looked at the chart, and I was way out of the band. Oops.
All's fair on field day.
On the Porta-Johns, you want the invoice, you want that to go to you?
Yeah.
I'll get that, your information now. Post office box number.
The only reason I'm asking you to do it is they usually want a contact person.
Yeah, it's no problem.
That's it. Thanks.
Went with a higher price.
All right, real quick, we usually try to do a post-mortem on swap. And so, this is the time, if you got any suggestions that you saw something we could do differently or better. One already is we got too much noise by the testing facility, right?
Still?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, it was noisy. Are we doing a postmortem on
Yeah,
that?
yeah, right now.
Oh, I guess I would, so what I would say is, we'd probably move the people who are grading the tests away from the people who are taking the tests. Because there's a lot of noise in the test, people doing the test, checking the test have to communicate. All right, the other thing is, we should have the same testing team, and if anybody wants to volunteer, they need to contact whoever's holding the testing, whether it's Gordy or me, to get approval. So don't go out and say, "Hey, Bill, you can come."
We had people showing up, and they were not a good fit.
Right.
Okay, so that's my bad.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't pointing the finger. It's just that
No,
it happened
I'm
last
just
year.
saying it's good,
It
that's
happened
why we do
last year
this.
too.
That's why we do this.
Yep.
So we're not gonna, if somebody wants to help, send them to you.
Yep, so
Whoever's
we've got a
running.
good team. We've got Lee, we've got Icery, we had, Dan. I mean, those guys know what they're doing. They can plug through it.
Yeah, Dan's excellent.
Everything
Dan is very good.
Yeah. Gordy, your son-in-law, Mike, was fantastic, but this is not an opportunity to just pull in everybody and say, "Hey, show up," because
Okay.
it just didn't work well. Other than that, it went.
And if they're a club member and they want to be on the roster to
Yeah.
get the points, that's one thing. But just, let's not pull anybody from the crowd, because it was problematic.
Gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I gotta, the tables were a little bit close together where we were selling our stuff. Me and the guy behind me, we were almost on top of each other.
Yeah.
So maybe just space them out just a little farther.
Anybody else that had tables that feel that way? Yeah.
I didn't obviously have a table, but I heard that from my parents as well, that there wasn't quite enough room in between for the vendors.
That's because I cited it in. I didn't bring my tape measure.
So that.
Well, that's what I got from the guy behind me, okay? And he says
No,
they were,
this is why we do this, folks.
just so they were a little close.
It'll be better if we have a little more room,
A
right?
little, yeah, just a little more
That's
room.
why we do
It only
this.
takes a foot or so to do it too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that you saw that you liked or you didn't like? Yes?
We need door tickets at the table for check-in side too.
Okay. Because people come and they need to get a ticket.
We need tickets altogether.
Yeah, that's right, we're out of tickets.
We are out of tickets.
Does anybody remember who printed those?
Cadillac Printing.
Okay, good.
A long time ago.
They still in business?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
they're right down
Yeah,
on Main Street.
they do a really good job on QSO cards.
Make a motion, we order new tickets.
Do we have a
Do
sample?
we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, what we need is an old ticket. Do we have even one old ticket?
Well, if they've done them in the past, they should have
They
it.
probably got a,
Okay,
On that note, you gotta be present to win. We probably don't need the phone number and stuff on the tickets either.
It's present to win the general door prizes, not the big one.
Okay.
The main prize has always been just whoever, so we do need that information.
Okay.
I'll take that too.
all right. Tom?
If you set me up with a small bank, maybe $50 or something like that, I can handle the new membership. It was too hard trying to find Lee and sending, he was working, he was busy, and trying to send people. I can handle it right there. All I need are the membership cards, get everybody's name, just have a book with everybody's name, have a bank. If they say, okay, I want to try the Club 50, hand me a 20, I can give them a 5 back. Let me handle that. That way it frees Lee up and.
Great idea, done.
yeah.
Right, Lee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That'll work better.
And we're gonna do a little bit more promotion of it there, you know, just like a poster or something that invites people to do it.
Well, there's, behind where Tom was, there's all those, we could put a sign up right behind him.
Yeah,
Club memberships.
Right.
yep,
Yeah.
good, good idea.
So,
Steve?
so just consider this, the prices are pretty cheap. Consider maybe if the table prices or something, you could adjust those, maybe not. I wouldn't discount tables that are in the hall, because they get just as much, if not more traffic.
Yeah,
They did really well out there. I wouldn't mess around with 2 fee schedules. And I would consider, like, people who are testing, I think I would let them go to the swap for free. I mean, just a suggestion. They're not gonna be in the door prize, but I think when I went to Traverse City and tested, I think they let them go through the swap for free.
Did you get those, all this stuff done?
Those are club decisions that people.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I've often wondered, with everything else going up, do we need to raise our prices?
I will always be opposed to raising the prices because I don't want to make change for anything other than not to say that maybe we don't need to think about it because of.
Well, if we go up to $10, you don't have any problem.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to Hudsonville this weekend, and they've been $8, and they're always complaining about singles. And you got a price like that, you've always got singles you gotta deal with, and they hate it.
The tables are $10. What are ours?
our
12.
tables are $12.
$12.
We're good there, so it's just.
Aren't they? Aren't the tables 12?
I'll bet we
$12
could get
tables,
15.
$5 admission. Tom?
What do you think, Gordy?
That's a good idea about letting the people in that are testing for free, because the problem is, if they pay at the door, they get a ticket. The ticket's in the basket, I pull it, there's no way I can contact them.
There's still going to be people that want tickets and want to be that.
But if they do, then they need to have put down
What
a
if we
ticket
just, what if
number.
we just make it optional?
Yeah, they want
Just
$5
tell anybody that's gonna take a test, you get in free if you want, but if you want a ticket, buy a ticket.
And then they'll have to have some kind of you can write it down, whoever the.
Well, they get a
names are,
wristband if they
write
buy a
them down,
ticket.
Put their
Yeah.
numbers, so that I
That's
know
true.
who those people are.
They get a
Okay.
wristband if they
Didn't we
get a
do that
ticket,
this
so
year?
that
I know we
shouldn't be a
talked
problem.
about it.
Yeah,
We talked about having a list of people so that when you pulled the tickets, you could match it up, but did that not happen?
No,
So maybe that's the solution too, just
Okay.
making sure that Tom gets a list of the people who are in the testing
if they
room.
wanna be in for the test, for the door prizes.
okay, Bill?
Check-in, and when they were coming in, more of a spreadsheet, making it easier to locate the people coming in instead of going up and down the list.
Wasn't there a map of the tables there?
I thought there was.
Yeah.
There was, but it changed.
Oh.
It became irrelevant.
Okay, all right. So better job for a couple things. We need
Yeah.
tickets there and a better job of helping you identify where
I
they're.
think a couple of those things were changed because of the change of people. we tried, if you didn't
And
have
it
to
was
handle
doubles.
it, it was supposed to make it easier, not
There were some
harder.
doubles.
Okay. Jack?
Just kind of an FYI thing for probably 90% of the hamfests out in Arizona, and there are a lot of them. Admission is usually $5 a head to get in, and a vendor's spot is $10 that includes 2 admissions. So basically, if you want to sell out there, it's cost you no more than it would be to just get two people in.
Okay.
Out there, though, they're not, I don't think most of them don't have to pay a lot for their venue, for the place to have the
Yeah.
hamfests. They're usually in the parking lots of a school, a college,
Yeah.
a church, or whatever out there. So their expenses aren't as high.
And that's the challenge. If you saw the treasurer's report, as much money as we made, you know, it costs quite a bit of money to pull it off. I think, what, $650 total expense for it. So their margins are not that big, so.
And we need that profit.
When you think about it, it's a lot of work for $50.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Look at all the work we do.
And on the flip side of that, you know how many people I get walk past that door saying, this is a great swap, thank you for doing it. This is the best one we come to, we come here every year. I mean,
I heard that a lot.
Yeah, we don't want to kill the golden goose either.
Right, and I hear that, we have to decide, is this where we're gonna make our money, or is this a public service? Either way, we
Yeah.
just have to decide.
Yeah, I've thought about that too, and I've also thought, are there other fundraising opportunities? And I haven't come up with any, but that doesn't mean there aren't, so.
So,
and there's not saying that, as nice as the school is, if they do get the building up at the airport and we can get that free, is
Yeah,
that
that's
gonna
the
make
other
a
thing.
difference too?
That's
We can hold it
$400
up.
for eating a kitty.
Yeah, we can hold it up there for free.
You know, we could have more than one raffle too.
Yeah,
We've got a newsletter that goes out to like 90 people.
yeah.
And you can just spread the word, hey, we're gonna have a raffle, we're gonna give away this radio, tickets are $5, or
We
whatever
need
we
your
decide they
kids.
might be.
When Tiff was younger and we had a couple of other that, we sent them around with, what was it, we did a 100 ticket
Yeah,
raffle at the
yeah.
swap.
we could be,
But you need cute kids to sell tickets.
we could be our own food vendor too and make $300-400.
That was another, the Cadillac
No.
Van Boosters.
We don't want to do that.
We've been through that, we've been through that.
We've done that in the
That
past.
juice ain't worth the squeeze.
The Van Boosters were very pleased with,
They made like $300 or
they
$400.
made almost $400.
Yeah, I know, but what did we make when Della and Carol Ann were doing it? It wasn't anywhere near that, was it?
No.
And it was club members doing it.
Wow, there's gonna be.
All right, look, we
Here's what they were
gotta
selling.
shut this off. This has been very helpful. It'll make it better. I really think it was a great swap, but these are great ideas.
What are the numbers?
What were the numbers?
I have to look it up.
Somebody asked how many people were there, and I go,
I had 250 tickets and we sold every single one plus.
Yeah,
So I think it was
I think I saw something like 276.
that's
The
not
number
as
comes to
many
mind.
as I thought. All those
Okay.
I ended up with the Hamilton when I thought
Hello?
You need a gal.
Dave's not here, man. Dave's not here.
I'm Dave.
that's getting to be a lost art.
All right. With no further ado, Lee has stepped up to the plate. He's going to tell us a little bit, and it's appropriate because we just did the alternative power. So Lee, come on up and start this video for us.
Yeah, this is a good video on biennial batteries and how they fit it into solar and all that. So here we go. Let me get the arrow. There it is.
I'll get it, let me get it.
Up here, Katie4 PMG. So you're ready to go for the soda, Oda, or maybe you just want to be ready for an emergency situation and you've never operated remote before. What options and how do I connect to a battery and solar panel to operate remote as long as I want to or need to? That's today on HOA Ham. expectations about the content of this video, it is not geared toward the expert remote operator who already knows how to pair radio to battery to solar panel. I'm focused more on the newer ham, the ham who's just now considering how to go remote, the ham who's investigating new equipment that they haven't looked at before to prepare for an emergency remote operation, POTA, SOTA, etc. I'll show what I use in my go bag, and then I'm going to look at a new pairing that I'm going to show you how to connect in preparation for a series of videos upcoming on my channel. For my emergency go bag, I purchased and carry the 28-watt foldable solar panel along with the 12-volt 9-amp-hour battery. This kit's available if needed to evacuate the house in less than a minute, and it can power my IC705 indefinitely as long as the sun shines eventually. Not a problem here in Tampa Bay. For my larger go bag on wheels, I carry the 40-watt foldable solar panel along with the 12-volt 20-amp-hour battery and the 30-amp Bioenno solar charge controller shown in this video. This kit's available for more planned remote activations or emergency situations which are foreseen. If a hurricane is headed our way, which happens a dozen times a year, and I evacuate in an orderly, timely fashion, this kit goes in the vehicle along with my base station FT991A. And if used properly, can power a 100-watt radio or QRP radio with amplifier for an extended period of time. I used Bioenno online guides to help me determine which battery solar panel to pair together for my to-go kits. Their customer service is excellent. You can reach out to them by email if necessary, and they are very responsive in providing guidance to make sure you get the right kit pairing. I'll leave links to their guides in the description below. The kit I'm preparing today is the result of a collaboration with Bioenno to show a demanding remote activation using a solar and battery combination planned for an upcoming channel series. Thanks to Bioenno for sponsoring that video series by providing the perfect equipment pairing. To be sure there's no confusion, I am not a Bioenno affiliate. I purchased Bioenno gear for both of my Go kits, which are the foundation of my emergency preparedness. I chose Bioenno because they are the standard when it comes to portable comms power solutions.
He loves that baby.
And wait till you see the other two surprises. A joyful bundle of three. I was thinking of gifting one to each of you. I got...
You can see from the photograph there are very specific terminals on the solar charge controller. The solar charge controller are the brains of the operation. Now let's oversimplify the connection to get you started. We need to pull power from our solar panel and bring it into the solar charger. So, with most solar panels, you will have some type of output cable. Some solar panels already come with a charge controller. This one does not. That's one of the first things you need to figure out. So we need to take our power from our panel, bring it into the appropriate terminals on the solar charge controller. Then we need to take power from the charge controller and take it back into our battery. That's another cable that we're going to have to make, and we will connect the battery here to the output on the solar charge controller. Then we're going to take power from the battery and power our devices. We are basically going to take a pre-made power pole cable, plug it into a distribution block, and now I can power my equipment. You're going to see right now that I do have power coming from the battery that I can put right into my radio. Power's right up. So what's occurring at this point is your equipment is operating off the power that's stored in the battery. What the solar charge controller is doing and your panel are doing is they are keeping the battery topped off. They're continuing to charge the battery while you are using it. The power going into the distribution block, which in this case is driving my 5105, and when I go operating remotely for this specific application, I will be taking another cord and plugging in my XPA 125B power amplifier. It's all running directly off the battery. The solar panel, the charge controller, keep the battery charged, topped off, etc. And as I'm drawing power from my battery, I will be able to see that on my solar charge controller. We're close to the finish line. We have finished our cables. The first cable that we made will go into the battery terminals on our charge controller and connect to the battery. The second cable that we made will go from the solar panel into the solar panel terminals on the charge controller. Then we'll connect our battery to our distribution block and then power our equipment. So we want to connect the battery first, and let's start with connecting our wires into the terminals of the charge controller. Make sure your polarity is correct. And this is all clearly spelled out on the front panel of the charge controller, which again you can see from the photographs. All right, we can actually connect the battery now. And you can see that we've already powered up. Next, we're going to connect our cable for the solar panel. And again, we're going to start with connecting at the charge controller. And again, making sure that our polarity is correct. There we go. All right, and now we can plug into our solar panel. Now, nothing's going to happen because our solar panel is not in the sun. But again, showing you the connections, and then we'll take it out into the sun. Next up, we're going to actually take power from our battery, go into our distribution block, and from our distribution block, we'll go into our radio and any other equipment that we would be operating remotely. And we are powering up the radio. Let's take it out in the sun. Okay, so there you have it, friend. Battery first, solar panel second, equipment third. Solar charge controller comes online as soon as you connect the battery. Connect your solar panel. And now you can see activity going from the solar panel into the battery that it's actually charging. And now we'll connect our equipment. So there you have it, how to connect your solar panel to your battery to your equipment and make sure everything is running smooth, effective, and safely. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our friends over there at Bioenno Battery 73.
I'll get it.
Okay, I got
Your father knows about
just 5 more minutes to show you another way to do it. Bob, you're gonna like this. 'Cause you have one.
What's that?
It's a jackery.
Oh, my jackery, yeah.
Yeah. Knew you'd like that.
You can hook that, you can charge that with a solar panel.
You got the jackery, yeah, you can. You got the jackery, I've got a battery box. Now, the battery box has a Bioenno battery inside of it. It's a 15.
It has a what?
A Bioenno battery, that is that blue one that he has. His is a 20 amp hour, mine is a 15 amp hour. And the nice thing about this is you got a little bit of storage in there, and then you've got different connectors on the outside.
Is that a lead acid battery then?
It is not. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery. The advantage to that is that it holds a steady pull all the way down. Yeah, perfect. Okay. This is a new gizmo that is on the market. It's got a cigarette plug. So you can plug this into your car and charge your battery, but you can also plug it into your jackery. Make believe that jackery is your solar panel, and you plug that into your here. Plug that into your battery. See, it's lit up 13.2 volts. And then I don't need to do anything else because we don't have a radio, but I will show you, just kind of make believe. This is the cable to go to the radio.
What kind of
Plug that in.
connectors are those, Lee?
What's that?
Are those power pole connectors?
They're power pole connectors, yeah. And then this, that's the jack that goes in the back of a Yaesu radio. So there you are. You got the jackery. You got the.
That's that plug that goes in the back of the Yaesu radio is the T-plug. T-plug?
Yeah.
That's a standard.
Standard, yeah.
ICOM uses the same thing.
Yeah.
They use the same one.
I think that's generally everybody uses.
So anyway, this charges, this keeps the battery charged. So you got the jackery, the charger, you got the jackery, the charger, the battery, and this goes to the radio. So, I don't know, did you hear that, Bob? No, I didn't think so.
So, will that jackery then charge off of solar
Well,
panels?
you just saw
Yeah,
that picture back there.
I can do that. Yeah, you can do that too, yeah.
So you could keep it running as long as you had sun, pretty much.
Well, if you had a solar panel, you'd probably use a converter like he used, and run it right directly from the solar panel to the converter. So this is basically taking the place of the converter.
But if you did have a solar, as long as the sun was shining, yeah.
Well,
that's your charge.
Yeah, this is really your solar panel being,
Right.
This part of it is the solar panel going into the battery.
Okay. Any questions for Lee? Give him a big hand. Thanks, Lee. Okay, look at your tickets. 50-50 drawing. Here we go.
Lee?
Yeah.
Where'd you get your jackery?
I don't remember, probably Amazon.
I got mine at Harbor Freight. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't remember. I've had it, I don't know. We were camping at the time, and so it's been at least 5 or 6 years.
All right, tickets.
Okay, magic number, last 3 digits. 6, 7, 8.
Oh, all right. Okay, we started at 6:30, it's 7:29, and we packed a lot into it. Thanks for coming, and we're adjourned.
Yeah, he was in the